Hi, and welcome to your Energizing Yoga Flow. I am so excited to take you through this flow today because I, for one, need a little energy. I am about to go and hit the books and do a bit of study, and I'm not really feeling overly energized to do it. So I'm hoping that through this practice, I'm going to gain a little bit of energy to be able to sink in and study. I'm also hoping the rain holds off because it is a bit of a funny day. It rains and then it stops, and rains and then it stops. And it is just starting to spit, but I'm hoping that it will maybe go away and we'll be able to do this flow here outside. So today's class, you need a couple of blocks. If you do not have blocks, a blanket will do the same job, but we are actually going to begin with these blocks today because we're going to be doing a lot of chest openers, back bends to really energize us. So let's begin by coming to sit on our mats, and we're going to take one block and place it lengthways, in line with the long side of the mat. Our other block is going to come up a little bit further, and we're going to take it horizontal to the short side of the mat. We're coming into fish pose. Now you can have your blocks at this medium height like I do, or you can place them down a little further at the lowest height. But just play with it. If you go into it on the medium and it feels a little too much, come out, switch them down, and go from there. So we are going to gently lay back on our blocks. So this long horizontal block is coming down the spine, and our head is going back to rest on the other block. So we're beginning to open up through that chest area as we lay over the blocks. So breathing here, allowing this to be quite a gentle first heart opener. So as you lay here, you might be hearing it's a little bit windy on my end. We're just embracing the sounds of life around us as we hold here. Like I said earlier, this can be quite a strong pose, especially if you're on the medium height of your block. So if you want to switch it down, then option to do so. There's also the option to expand this pose a little bit. If you feel like you want a little bit more, you might take that block under your head, lower it down a height, and open up a little bit more. So that block underneath the shoulder blades is really helping us to open up through that chest. It's coming along the top of the spine, opening us up. Coming through 3 more rounds of breath here. And then bringing the hands in beside the hips, grounding down into the hands to lift you up and off the blocks. Sitting up tall, lengthening through the spine, and just noticing here how you feel. And then from here, we're going to bend that right foot, bringing that sole of the foot into the left thigh, lifting up and opening up, reaching those arms overhead, and exhale, fold forward over the legs. Breathing here. I don't know if you can see, but it is really starting to spit here, but I am hoping that it goes away. Of course it would do this right now as I decide to film a class. On your next inhale, lift up, reach those arms overhead, and we're going to turn over our right knee, walk our hands forward and fold over that knee. And inhale lifts you up. This time we're going to extend the left hand along the left leg, reaching the right arm up and overhead. Now as you inhale, see if you can open that chest a little bit more, opening the chest towards the sky. And as you exhale, lifting up, taking that right hand behind you, left arm sweeps overhead as you ground down into that right knee and left foot, lifting the hips up and opening the opposite way. Exhale, lower down. coming through center, taking an inhale, and then exhale over that left leg. Inhale lifts you up. Exhale, placing the right hand behind you, lifting up, reaching those hips up, opening through the front body. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lengthen, and then exhale over. We're just going to do this one more time. Inhale, lift up. Right hand behind you, ground down into that right knee as you lift up, open through the chest. Exhale, lower down. Good. Turning to face that left leg, extending the right leg out and bending the left knee, bringing that sole of the foot to the inner thigh. Inhale, reach those arms up overhead, and exhale, fold forward over the legs. I might just be in luck with the rain, guys. It seems to be easing off. Taking a breath or two here. Then inhale, coming up through center, turning over that left knee and folding over the leg. Inhale lifts you up, taking that right hand along that right leg, reaching the left arm overhead. Now see, can you open a little bit more? Can you open up towards the sky, opening through that chest area? Breathing here. Then exhale, take that left hand behind you, ground down into that hand as you lift the hips, open up through the front body. Exhale, lower down. Inhale brings you through center, and exhale sweeps you over that right leg, opening up. Inhale brings you through center, ground down into the hand, lifting the hips. Exhale lowers you down. Inhale through center, exhale over towards the right. Inhale lifts you up, ground down into that left hand as you exhale, reach and open. Exhale lowers you down. Turning to face that right leg, extending the left leg. Lengthening up tall, opening here, and just pausing for a moment in Dandasana, breathing. From here, we're going to come into our tabletop position, so just transitioning however feels good for you. Moving those blocks out of the way, bringing the hands under the shoulders and the knees under the hips. Tucking those right toes and sending the leg long. As you inhale, lift it up. Now bend the knee and point the toes towards the sky. As you inhale, we're going to look up, lift up through the chest and the knee. Exhale, round through the spine, bring the knee towards the nose. Inhale, lift the leg, lift the chest. And exhale, round and bring it in. Inhale, lifts it up. Exhale, round and step that right foot forward, coming into a low lunge. Now you might need to adjust that back knee by walking it back a little, or you may be quite comfortable where you are. Find what feels good for you. Open through the chest here, light on the fingertips. And as you inhale, sweep those arms up overhead, breathing here. And on your next exhale, bend at the elbows, open through the chest. Inhale, lifts the arms up. Exhale, bends and opens. Inhale, lift. This time, exhale, bend, open through the chest, keeping those goalpost arms, and we're going to bring the left elbow to the front towards the front of the mat. Coming into a twist. Breathing here. And then coming back through center. On your next exhale, twist towards the right knee. So left elbow coming towards the right. Back through center. Exhale and twist. Now lengthen out the arms, taking them long, and as you exhale, we're going to take that right hand down that left leg, reach the left arm overhead. If your hand is not quite reaching that left leg, it's totally okay. Just go into a space that feels okay for you. Circle the left hand down to the mat, reach the right arm up overhead, tuck those back toes, and lift up the back knee. Breathe in here. Lower the right hand to the mat. Step that right foot back to meet the left, coming through your plank pose. So always an option to drop the knees in plank, coming through a half plank, whatever feels good for you here. Now everyone lower those knees and come back to that tabletop position. So you might need to adjust the hands, adjust the knees, find your form. And then tucking those left toes, sending that left leg back, lifting it up in line with the hip. Bend at the left knee, point those left toes up towards the sky. Now as you inhale, open through the chest, lift that left toe towards the sky. Exhale, round, bring the knee towards the nose. Inhale, lift up, look up. Exhale, rounding in. Inhale, open up. And this time as you exhale, rounding the back and then stepping the left foot forward. Low lunge. Find your position, what feels good for you. Light on the fingertips, open through the chest. On your next inhale, lift those arms up overhead. Open that front body. Then as you exhale, bend at the elbows, open the chest. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend and open. Here comes the sun. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, bend and open. Now take a breath here. And on your next exhale, bringing the right arm or elbow towards the top of the mat. Inhale brings you through center. Exhale, twist towards the left. Inhale to center. Exhale, twist towards the left and extend those arms, taking them long. On your next exhale, take that left hand down the right leg and reach the right arm overhead. Opening here, breathing into that opening, into that front of the body. Now circle the right hand down to the mat, left arm reaches up overhead, tuck those back toes, lift the back knee off the mat. Breathe in here. Left hand comes down to frame that left foot. Step the left foot back to meet the right. Find your plank position. Taking a breath in plank. Activating that core. Then lowering the knees, bringing the chest forward so that your elbows are over your wrists and lowering down halfway in chaturanga. Push through, open up for a cobra. So we're coming into a high cobra here, grounding down into the hands, opening through the chest. Our knees and our feet are still on the mat in cobra. Then sending the hips up and back, tucking those toes, grounding down into the hands, lifting the knees, sending the hips towards the sky for your down dog. Now you might walk your dog a little bit, move your hips from side to side, get into it. This is your first down dog of the day, so move, explore, find what feels good. And then when you're ready to find some stillness, then please feel free to do so. On your next inhale, bend the knees, look between the hands and step forward. Find your half lift, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold over the legs. Ground down into the feet, reaching those arms up overhead, and exhale, hands to heart center. Bringing the hands down beside you, opening through the chest, grounding down through the feet, tailbone tilted slightly, Tadasana. On your next inhale, sweep those arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Find your half lift with length through the spine. Then plant the hands and step back through plank. Option to come through half chaturanga or full chaturanga. So if you're coming through full chaturanga, coming forward on those toes, elbows over the wrist, lower down halfway, then push through, opening up for cobra, opening through the chest. And if you want to come a little deeper into downward dog, grounding down into those hands and the feet, lifting the knees up off the mat. Into upward dog, I think. I think I said downward dog. I mean upward dog. Then exhale, find your way back to your down dog. On your next inhale, the right leg lifts up. As you exhale, step it forward between the hands. Inhale, reach those arms up overhead for your high lunge. Roll those shoulders down away from the ears here. Front knee over front ankle. On your next exhale, lower that back foot so that your foot is intersected by the front heel and extend the arms long for your warrior two. Breathe in here. On your next inhale, right elbow meets right knee, left arm reaches overhead. Inhale, lifts you up through warrior two, and exhale, turn that front palm face up, reaching it overhead for reverse warrior. Inhale through center, exhale, lower the hands to the mat. Ground down into that left hand and open up to the side. Coming back to where we began. Now option here to turn onto the pinky toe side of the left foot, walking the right foot back in front of the body for side plank. So this is your first option, you can stay here. Second option, to walk that right foot back and place it on top of the left foot for side plank. Breathe in here. Next option is to step that right foot behind the left leg and open up for wild thing. So that back foot is behind approximately the left knee, grounding down into the toes, keeping that bend in that right leg as you open up through the front body. On your next exhale, lower the hips so that you can bring the right hand to the mat and come back through plank. Take a breath here, then move through your chaturanga into your cobra or upward facing dog, and exhale back to down dog. Pause in here just to breathe, catch your breath. Then inhale, reach the left leg up. Exhale, step it between the hands. Grounding down into that back foot, front foot. Lift up. High lunge, front knee over ankle. Shoulders down away from the ears. Lower that back heel. Come through your warrior two. So find what feels good, adjust, take a moment, breathe. On your next exhale, take the left elbow to the left knee, reach the right arm overhead. Inhale, lifts you up through center. Exhale, turn that front palm face up, reaching it overhead, taking that right hand down the right leg for reverse warrior. Inhale, brings you back through center. Exhale, circles the hands to the mat, grounding down into that right hand, opening up to the left side. Now, option to stay here. Next option is to come to the pinky toe side of that right foot, walking that left foot in front of the right thigh. Stay here if here feels good. If you want a little bit more, you might walk that right foot back to meet the left. Left foot back, sorry, to meet the right, and side plank. Option to stay here, or if you want a little bit more, you might take that left leg behind the right, grounding down into the feet, lifting the hips up, open through the chest, reaching that left arm overhead as you do. Breathing here in your wild thing. Exhale, lower the hips so you can bring that left hand down, coming back through your plank. Flow through your vinyasa. So chaturanga, cobra or upward dog. Exhale to down dog. Bend the knees, look between the hands and bringing those knees to the mat. Coming to sit on the heels. The next posture we're going to take is camel pose. So I'm going to give you a couple of options here. You can use your blocks by bringing them in beside the ankles. We're going to leave them here for the first round, and we're just going to come into a slight extension of the pose, and the next round you might utilize them. But coming to stand on the knees. So our feet are coming out behind us in line with the knees. Lifting up, bringing the hands behind you and placing them fingertips down towards your bottom, placing the hands just at the top of the bottom there, at the base of the spine, grounding down through the knees, tilting those hips forward ever so slightly, rolling the shoulders back, elbows coming in towards one another, as we open through the front body. So taking a slight lean back, open through the chest, shoulder blades coming in towards one another, and those hands are just supporting our lower back here. Breathing as we stay here. Inhale brings you back through center, and exhale, just sitting back on those heels for a moment. Beautiful. Now you can stick with that if that feels good for you. If you want to go a little bit further, on the next round I'm going to show you how to do so. So coming back to stand on our knees, grounding down into the knees, tilting that tailbone under so slightly. We're going to start by bringing the hands to the back. Tailbone tilts down towards the mat. Open up through the chest, elbows coming towards one another, shoulder blades in as we open up. Now option to stay here or option to bring those hands back towards the blocks. Lifting up and opening here. Breathing, sending those hips towards the front of the mat. Opening through that front body. Then an inhale brings you up, and an exhale sinks you back onto your heels. Now option to stay with the blocks. If you want to go a little further, you might move them to the side. Taking a breath or two here, just reconnecting, feeling what is arising from doing that posture. Then option to come back up through center. Now you might keep your feet like this, or you may tuck your toes. I like to tuck my toes, it makes me feel a little steadier. So hands begin by coming down to the back of the, towards our bottoms, fingertips pointing down at the base of the spine. As we tilt our tailbone under, we begin to open up through the chest, sending the elbows in towards one another, breathing here. And then if you want a little bit more, you'll take your hands to the blocks or to your heels and then open up a little bit more. Breathing. Connecting with your breath. Opening through that front body and the back body. Now bringing the hands back to the lower back, lifting up, and then lowering the hips back towards the heels. Taking the big toes together, the knees as wide as the mat, and we're going to lengthen our arms forward in child's pose, bringing the forehead to the mat. Now you may stay here in stillness, or you might find some gentle rocking movements. Just find what feels good for you here. Noticing how that back body and front body feel here. Now on an inhale, coming up onto the fingertips, and we're going to walk our hands over towards the right side, folding over the right leg here. Getting into that left side body. And inhale lifts you back onto the fingertips, walking through center and over to the left side. Breathe in here. Inhale brings you back through center, holding, folding, breathing. And then walking the hands back towards you, coming up to sit. Bringing the knees together and swinging the legs to one side so you can come down onto your bottoms. Grounding down into the feet here and rolling down the spine vertebrae by vertebrae. Bringing one of those blocks with you. We're not quite finished yet. And as you inhale, we're going to ground down into the feet. Lift the hips up off the mat. Reach those arms overhead as you do. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lifts you up. Exhale, lowers you down. Inhale, lift. And we're going to hold here for a moment. Breathing. Now sweeping those hands back down beside the body, keeping those hips lifted. Breathing here. Can you lift a little bit higher? Then taking your block, and we're going to place it underneath the base of the spine there and lower the hips down into it. The supported bridge. So we're still opening through that front body here. We're just giving it a little support as we do. Lifting the hips up off the block, moving the block beside you and lowering the hips down on the mat. Then bringing the knees into the chest, taking a little rock from side to side and taking any final movements you feel you need here today. Before lowering the feet to the mat and extending the legs long, allowing the feet to just drop open, arms come down beside you, palms faced up for your Shavasana. Letting go of the breath, letting go of the movements, and just simply being present. Beginning to awaken the body by moving the fingertips and the toes. Make that movement bigger through the wrists and the ankles. And then stretching the arms overhead, taking a nice full body stretch before bending the knees and rolling to the right side. Pausing here for a moment just to find space for gratitude. And then when you're ready, making your way up to sit. I hope that you have enjoyed this energizing flow today, that you are feeling a little bit more energized and ready to take on whatever life throws at you. I know that I now feel definitely prepared to go into my study. Bringing the hands together in front of the heart, hands to the forehead, reminding us to have clear and loving thoughts. Hands to the heart center, reminding us to have clear and loving intentions. And hands to the mouth, reminding us to have clear and loving communications. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for joining me today. Namaste. As always, you know what to do. If you liked this flow, then give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, then hit the subscribe button. And if you want to see when videos drop, then hit the notification bell. I hope you have a wonderful day. I will see you next time. Bye.